Friends, I request everyone to be seated, please. Our honorable chief guests, Justice Ravindra Bhat and Justice Indira Banerjee, they have arrived. And so also we have the gracious presence of Mr. Parasaran and Mr. Ashok Desai. So please be seated. To please come here. Please come, walk fast. Honorable Justice Indira Banerjee, bouquet. Anandita, help them in getting the bouquet. To Honorable Justice Indira Banerjee. I'll request Arush Khanna to please present a bouquet to Honorable Justice Ravindra Bhat. I'll request Anurveda Sharma to please present the bouquet to Mr. K. Parasaran, former Attorney General. I'll request Anandita to please present a bouquet to Mr. Ashok Desai, our General Secretary. I'll request Triveni. So friends, the heart veterans and also the potential that the legal profession has for the youngsters. I think it will be a very apt beginning if I request the President-elect Mr. Prashant Kumar to make a presentation on what is BAI, that is the Bar Association of India. Prashant Kumar is the dynamic leader of the bar and he is virtually the face of the Bar Association of India so far as the outside world and the outside legal profession is concerned, having signed various protocols, agreements with other bar associations, and is also heading, you see, the BRICS India Legal Forum. I'll request Prashant to please make his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhasin. In fact, this presentation speaks for itself. I'll just be peppering over a few comments. So it's the snapshot of history legacy of Bar Association of India. As you can see on the screen, it was established in 1959. The endeavor was by the first Attorney General of India, Mr. M.C. Setalwad, and most of the dignitaries, including Prime Minister Nehru, President Rajendra Prasad, in whose name and on whose anniversary we celebrate this occasion, they all graced the opening of Bar Association of India, and most of them were lawyers themselves. So at the opening, these were the sentiments of the President, and Mr. Setalwad, he has explained, because many people ask why Bar Association of India when Bar Council of India is there. So he has explained that we need a voluntary bar which can promote excellence in the legal profession. So that's why the governing council was structured with an all India flavor, with advocate journals, with the High Court bar presidents all being ex officio members apart from the elected members. So this is the luminaries, galaxy of luminaries, and we are very fortunate to have Mr. Parasaran here among the presidents of Bar Association. Then internationally from Mr. Shankar Das, Mr. Venugopal, Mr. Nariman, Diwan, everybody has headed the main international organizations of legal profession. So under the flagship programs, we organize Lawyers of India Day, the Rule of Law Convention, and we find the Lawyers Day of India to be an occasion where we celebrate our legal luminaries by awarding them the achievement awards. Now, Board of Advisors is headed by Mr. Nariman with Mr. Parasaran, Mr. Saurabh, Mr. Ashok Desai. The current office bearers are led by Attorney General ex officio, Dr. Lalit Bhasin, who is the president. Then we have vice presidents, Mr. Subramanyam, Pinky Anand, Mr. Chandyok, and also ex officio members. He is the Solicitor General. Now, another very important initiative is the BRICS Legal Forum, where it is not only involving the BRICS countries, but the emerging economies, because the New Development Bank has been established as an institution which distinguishes itself from the Bretton Woods institutions in the sense that it says that we are not going to have policy prescriptions. The emerging economies, we need to work with them as their environment is and try to improve it by working with them. So we want to do the same thing, replicate the same thing in the field of dispute resolution, and already 5 centers have been established. We were in Brasilia last month, where the final declaration has been signed to create a network along with the emerging economies, and also to set up an institution called IDRIB, which is Institute for Dispute Resolution for Emerging Economies and BRICS. Now, Bar Association of India has been supporting rule of law along with international organizations like Law Asia, and we have been part of the international observer missions, fact-finding missions, wherever rule of law has been in peril, including in Maldives when their Chief Justice was arrested by the government. We went in a mission, we were ourselves detained and put in an armed detention. So again, we are trying to have linkages world over. Vladivostok is a forum where the entire Far East and other countries participate. Then ILAC is very important organization which is worked in Syria in setting up the norms and also centers for admitting refugees into Europe. So we have been collaborating in these efforts and helping these international organizations to further this agenda. Now, a number of MOUs have been signed by the Bar Association of India in last decade, and more are in the works. And especially with the emerging economies and in Asia Pacific, we are trying to have very strong linkages with the Indian legal profession. Now, another initiative is to bring international universities to India and see that, we have more student exchanges. And then even in the organizations like SCO, Dr. Pinky Anand has been representing. And again, Law Asia Bar Association's contribution is recognized world over. And you can see the head of states, participating in that. And our luminaries like Mr. Diwan were felicitated in Colombo 2 years back. Now, we have also been promoting investments into India, structuring of international legal regimes, working with UNCITRAL. Mostly it is the ministry officials who were attending these events. We took an initiative to take Chief Justice of India, Attorney General, and other stakeholders, so that our real strength in terms of, what we can promote as thoughts and ideas is foregrounded. So we had been working with the Chamber of Commerce in Germany, trying to make aware of European Union, other countries, other parts of the world, that what are the legislative changes here. And again, under BRICS, setting up of this institution is going to be a landmark event. and it is at the final stages, and we hope to have all these centers in working form next year in Russia when we meet in St. Petersburg. So this is a short presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prashant. I will now request you see the Honorable Chief Guests, the Honorable Justice Indira Banerjee and Honorable Justice Ravindra Bhat, to please come on the dais here. Nina, please escort Justice. Yeah. I'll request Mr. Ashok Desai to please come. Mr. Parasaran, would you like to sit there or come there? Just for 10 minutes. Please come. I'll request Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman, Bar Council of India, to please come on the head table. Mr. Shyam Devan, the Vice President of the Bar Association of India. Dr. Anandita Pujari, please join us. Is Mr. Manoj Singh around somewhere? No. Honorable Justices Indira Banerjee and Justice Ravindra Bhat, the two legends, the former Attorney Generals of India, besides many other hats that they wore and are still wearing, Mr. K. Parasaran and Mr. Ashok Desai. The official leader of the Indian Bar, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, the Chairman of the Bar Council of India. My colleagues, Prashant, President-elect, Mr. Shyam Devan, Anandita Pujari, and all the bar leaders from different parts of India who have come to attend and pay their tribute not just to individuals whom we call the legends of law, but also tribute to the legal profession of this country. We have said that we are celebrating 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary. So why did we choose, this 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi to do so? One basic and fundamental reason was that he was a lawyer. Our father of nation was a lawyer, a very successful lawyer. And I firmly believe that the legal education that he got and the law practice that he did for a short while did help him in getting conceptualizing what he stood for eventually, that is equality, fraternity, and freedom, liberty. These are three principles he stood for, and these are the three principles which are so vital for our legal profession, not just in India, but I think all over the world. And my wife told me, you see, there was an article written by a famous editor of Vogue magazine. It is about how Gandhiji dressed, you know. So, a young bright fellow, about 7, 8 years old, he met Gandhiji and asked, why don't you wear a shirt or something, you see, why you are moving, you see, like a half-naked person and all that. So Gandhiji told him that, you see, I am a poor person. I can't afford to buy a shirt. So that young fellow said, well, sir, I will ask my mother to stitch a shirt for you. That should not be a problem. Gandhiji said, how many shirts she can make? He said, sir, what do you mean, how many? You need one shirt, I'll ask her to make 2, 3, 4 for you. He'll do that. And Gandhiji told him that I have got, at that time he said, about 40 crore, you see, people who are not clad properly, who do not have shirts. So that is where the young boy understood what Gandhiji meant. That was the value, you see, with what Gandhiji stood for, and something it had to do with his background as a lawyer. Now, can we compare ourselves, you see, with the role, you see, which Mahatma Gandhi had to do? After all, we can't be fathers of the nation, but we can certainly follow the principles, the ideals, the values which Gandhiji stood for. And then it was not just Gandhiji. Look at, you see, the history of our legal profession. The first President of India, the first Prime Minister of India, the first Deputy Prime Minister of India, then Dr. Ambedkar and everyone, they all belong to this profession. Some of them gave up their lucrative law practices to do service for the country, like paying it to the society, paying it back to the society. That is why this was a step for introspection, why we chose 150 years to just compare where the values were at that time and where the values are now. This is one reason, you see. And then we also celebrate 60 years of the Bar Association of India. 60 years is a long period. 60 years we had about 7, 8 presidents, and look at the caliber of those people who have been presidents, present company accepted. Look at the caliber of those people, you see. They also stood for the values in a different way from Gandhiji's, you see, concept of values. For instance, just Mr. Setalvad, he was like a idol for everyone, icon so far legal profession is concerned. Never used to mislead the court, much less shout at the court, and make his point, make his submissions briefly and sit down. The same thing, you see, progressed when Mr. Daftari was there, and then Mr. Lal Narayan Sinha, and then of course we have Mr. Parasaran, and of course Mr. Fali Nariman, and the tradition continued with Mr. Anil Diwan and R.K.P. Shankar Das. In these 60 years, the Bar Association has stood for values. Values mean the maintenance and strengthening the rule of law in this country, independence of the legal profession, independence of the judiciary, and to fight inequalities, fight injustice, whether by the government or by anyone. That is what the Bar Association has stood for. My own personal involvement with Bar Association started about more than 45 years ago when I joined it as an assistant treasurer. And then gradually I became the General Secretary in 1990 when Fali Nariman was the President. For 20 years we worked together, of course with the help of such young, sincere workers like Prashant and other who have played an excellent role in promoting and strengthening the Bar Association of India. And then why 3rd December? 3rd December because it is the birth anniversary of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, himself a very eminent lawyer, but more importantly, the first President of India and who had a great role along with Dr. Ambedkar in the framing of our Constitution. But more importantly for us, Dr. Rajendra Prasad inaugurated the Bar Association of India, as Prashant said, in 1959 in the august presence of the Vice President of India, Prime Minister of India, Chief Justice of India, the Attorney General of India. Such a scenario you cannot have these days for security reasons or other reasons. That time we did not have that sort of a security regime as we have now. So that is why we have, and on this occasion, we started in 2016 celebrating Lawyers of India Day. We have institutionalized it. Every year we respect, recognize and appreciate the great work being done by our professional brothers and sisters in different parts of the country. And some are heading the Bar Council, some are being the Attorney General, the Additional Solicitor Generals, some people are presidents of the High Court Bar Associations, and people like that. And we do remember the role played so significantly by those who are no longer with us. And in this year, we lost two very, very eminent personalities in the field of law. But besides being lawyer, they were in the other area of politics also, but we are more concerned, you see, with their distinguished career as legal professionals, and we are proud of the fact that they were in some form or the other always associated with the Bar Association of India. Mr. Arun Jaitley, he is responsible for giving us the land for our building on which we are, you see, construction is going on for the Bar Association of India's building. But besides that favor, you see, which it was not a favor in that sense, he really believed that the Bar Association of India is doing a great job and they do need some premises of their own. And being a voluntary organization, it can't raise funds, you see, to construct a building. Therefore, a very good piece of land was given to us in the institutional area where, you see, we are now constructing the building. And he was a great friend of the Bar Association of India. And so was Mr. Ram Jethmalani. I came to know him when he was the chairman of the Bar Council of India, way back in 1974, 75, something like that. And I was the chairman of Delhi Bar Council. Our association started on that note. Then politically we were on the opposite sides. We had our usual exchanges. I could never compare myself with what he was doing, you see, for the country, and not just for the country, you see, for the entire world in that sense. Great parliamentarian, unquestioned leader of the Indian bar so far as the presentation of cases, you see, before the courts was concerned. And his in-depth knowledge, not only people think that he was only a lawyer in the criminal law, you see. No, he was an expert on everything. I have personal experience because I briefed him in constitutional matters and civil matters and everything. And he was par excellence. We lost these two great leaders of the bar, so today we also pay a tribute to them. I welcome again all my friends who have come, the chairpersons of the bar councils, the presidents of the High Court Bar Associations, the advocate generals, the president of the different institutions of legal education, and additional solicitor generals from across the country. And with these opening remarks, I now request Honorable Justice Ravindra Bhat to please say a few words to us. Mr. Justice Ravindra Bhat, who has been a very integral part of the bar also, and then in the High Court, he was always looked upon as someone who will always guide the bar. And now we are indeed privileged that he is in the Supreme Court of India. So friends, a big hand to Honorable Justice Ravindra Bhat.